Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. This is Dylan with Tucson Future Classics, and that is our 2022 Kia Niro EV. The 5-year, 60,000-mile bumper-to-bumper, and the two 10-year, 100,000-mile EV powertrain and EV battery pack warranties all still apply. Previous owner took pretty good care of this. Even so far as on the Carfax vehicle history report, right before the lease was turned in, they did the EV battery pack cooling system flush and a new 12-volt battery. So seeing maintenance like that is always kind of nice, especially on a leased vehicle where they'll usually defer maintenance until they turn it back into the dealership. We also just took care of the rear camera recall at our local Royal Kia down here in Tucson. The runway red paint is holding up pretty darn well. A few little marks, like you can see from just loading items into the back, the usual what we call love marks and use marks, and even it's a little bit hard to see, but right here there's one little vertical mark on the side, and down here it's got Michelin's on all 4 corners. Again, being a lease vehicle, a lot of times if tires get chewed up or worn out, people put the cheap stuff on just to send it back to the dealership because they know it won't be their problem. Very much not the case here. It's got a 64 kilowatt hour battery pack, so those low rolling resistance tires keep this pretty much at its original EPA estimated range of 239 miles. These Niros share a platform with the gasoline, the hybrid, and the plug-in hybrid Niros. Everything that makes this tick is easy to access and right here. So your washer fluid reservoir here, brake fluid reservoir there. This blue is not washer fluid. That is the new EV battery pack, inverter, and motor coolant that they just had changed. That new 12-volt accessory battery here. And then moving down, the charge port is on the snout on these. Crack it open. We've got your standard J1772. This is your slow charge, your level 1, your level 2, what you use at home. And below it is the DC fast charging connector. And one cool thing with this, Tesla has recently opened up their entire supercharging network to other automakers. Kia is one of those other automakers. So if you get an adapter, you can hook this up to any Tesla supercharger, and now that 230-mile real-world range becomes seriously competent and turns this thing into a bit of a road trip machine, since you can now access every charger out there. Here on the trunk, you've got your subwoofer for your Harman Kardon sound system there. It's got a tri-fold cargo cover. In here is your factory at-home charger, so this will plug into your standard wall outlet. Underneath is a whole nother storage tray that not only can you hide stuff down below there, but you have your tire inflator, your fix-a-flat goo, and your tow hooks. And if you need some really big stuff, both back seats, flip the tab, fold flat, and you got a lot of space back there if you need it. Harman Kardon sound system, 8 speakers with that sub I showed you before. Let you hear the startup animation. Power windows, power door locks, power mirrors with auto fold. You can even program them to shut when you lock the car. And if you look closely at the edge of the mirror there, that is your blind spot monitors. That'll light up if there's a car hidden behind you where you otherwise wouldn't be able to see. Charge timer, on and off, so you can set this to charge only during off-peak hours for even cheaper electricity. And this locks your charge port door or the charging cable. Moving up, just dimmer for the control panel and the infotainment. Blind spot warning. Lane monitoring, like a lane warning, where if you get too close to either ditch, it'll buzz at you. Traction control is here. This being an EV, efficiency is the name of the game. So it's got automatic headlights and fog lights here. The paddles behind the wheel are for your regenerative braking. You can add less regen or add more regen or hold them in. Radio controls are here. Mode, AM, FM, XM, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, all of that. This is dictation, so you can, or voice control, so you can yell at the car and make it do things. Answer the phone, hang up on someone you don't like, volume up, volume down, mute, and this will change the pages on that infotainment display. Over here, and in that center display, this controls all of that. So this goes through the pages for all the information, all of your settings for your center screen, all sorts of goodies you can play with. It's got a ton of information even. I love this little guy, the driving style screen. It shows you how efficiently you've been driving, how well you're using your electrons, and just to show that the range on these things is pretty much no joke. We've got 3/4 of a tank of electrons, a 3/4 battery, and we've got an estimated range of 209 miles, and I've even got the AC running. So if I was to kick that off, you'll see that range increase. Even though I have it in efficient air conditioning mode, you'll still see a slight range hit with that running. Then over here you've got your cruise control that'll kick it on. Lane keep, this actually keeps you centered in the lane while you're driving, and this is your following distance for that adaptive cruise control. So it'll maintain a certain set distance from the car in front of you and speed up and slow down as they do. Center screen, don't have anything running right now. It's just a nice clean look, but just swipe page over and you have all of the vehicle's apps. You can do so much with this. I'm not going to get into all of it, but EV here gives you charging options, shows you approximate mileage of like your range with AC on, AC off, battery state of charge. Hit here and you can tell it to, if you hook up to a DC fast charger, only go to 90 instead of 100. You can turn it all the way down to, I think, 60%. And your AC at home charger, you can modify that as well for extending the life of the battery pack or speeding up charging times. You have physical buttons down here as well. So you hit map, it'll pull up the live map with your entertainment over here, like radio or what have you. Nav will pull up the nav screen. We can search everything, live traffic. It works pretty darn good. It syncs with everything, so it'll actually give you like live traffic updates, route options, all that. Radio, FM, AM, Sirius XM, your presets, all that. Media will bring up everything else, including Bluetooth, USB, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and these have sounds of nature, which is kind of neat. And this is as close to real music as I'll get without getting copyright struck here on YouTube. But it's got a pretty decent sound system. And if you want to just sit and chill and listen to peaceful noises, you can do that. It's kind of cool. Just a fun little Easter egg they threw in here. HVAC controls are also repeated. You have a full climate control up here, but you can do everything with the touch buttons down here as well. For being more environmentally or more electron minded, you can have it run driver only, which is pretty cool. The trick with most of these EVs is you hit auto, you tell it what temperature you want, and you just let it do the rest, because it will usually find the way to, as quickly and efficiently as possible, get you to the temperature you want to be at. Over here, standard fare glove box, you push it in. It's a pretty big, pretty deep storage compartment. No books in this one, unfortunately, but hey, sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. Cup holder on the the passenger's door, same as on the driver's side. And down here in the middle is pretty cool. That little QI, if I had a phone that would do wireless charging, you put it in there, that light turns on, boom, your phone gets juice. Pretty cool, and a great way to keep it out of the sun to keep it from overheating. 12-volt cigarette lighter charger there, USB in and USB fast charge, both USB-A, not USB-C. And then down here in the center, drive modes. Park, turn to left for reverse, middle for neutral, right for drive, push back down for park. Has an electronic parking brakes, which you can release and add here. So parking brake on here, parking brake released there. Driver and passenger heated seats. You've got auto hold, which will keep it from creeping. In drive mode, this has the usual drive modes plus one special drive mode. You've got your normal, you've got eco, you've got sport, and if you hold it down, it'll go into eco plus. It'll reduce your top speed and maximize your range. It'll bring the HVAC down and everything to make as much use of your electrons as you possibly can. And in here, you've got your two cup holders, which is kind of cool. They're modular, so you can fit bigger stuff, or you can, boop, and boop for smaller cups. And then just pretty standard fare center console with another USB fast charger built in. Here's your wireless charging deck. This little light here is about to light up when I put my phone in. Lit up, phone beeps, and now magically charging. Pretty cool. Not too much to remark on here in the back seats. You've got armrest, dual cup holders, child seat anchors. That's what those two little dots mean. They're on both sides. You've got water bottle cup holders in each door and your own pair of vents back here. Spin the camera around. I'm 6'1", 260 pounds. I actually have headroom back here. Seats recline just a little bit to make my gut more comfy. And this is my driving position. I sit pretty much all the way back and a little bit reclined. So not a bad place to be. EVs do a really good job with interior packaging, so even if you're big, they usually find room to fit you in. So pulling off onto some properly rough little residential roads here. Figured I'd be quieter than usual and show off just how quiet this thing really is and how well it handles pretty chewed up pavement. Like I said, especially at low speeds, about the only noise you hear is the whine of the motor and that little speaker noise out front that it has to make for pedestrians. This speed bump here, clip over at about 20. It's good. No bumps, no clunks, no ugly noises or anything coming from the suspension that would indicate something is up. But again, less than 23,000 miles. The thing is pretty fresh and pretty well sorted. I'm stopped here at a light before jumping on the interstate. I'll show you quick. Cruise control on. There they go. That turns it on. You hit this little button here. Green steering wheel emblem appears. And this will control your following distance when you set it. So let's just say I want to make it cruise all the way up to 55 for now, and it'll follow the car in front of us. It'll keep their exact position locked in place with the following distance that I select, and then I can speed it up and slow it down from here. Lane keep assist is not like an auto drive or anything like that, but it will keep you in your lane, and it'll follow like the curves on a highway or on a country road. I wouldn't necessarily want to use it to rely on in like tight city streets, but out here, it does a pretty good job. Oh, nice takeoff. Quick, good EV torque. And ABS brakes right to a stop. These things are super planted. We are an appointment-only dealership, so give us a phone call, shoot us a text message, email us to info@TucsonFutureClassics.com. You can also slide into our Instagram DMs or hit us up on Facebook, because we're there too. Hopefully, I've been able to give you everything you could want or need to know about this Niro to make an informed decision. And if I have done that, well, I've been Dylan. We'll see you soon.